story time again. Okay, I want to deal with the first black schools. Schools for African American children, slaves, and free date to early as the 1700s. In both North and the South, white clergies, including Cotton Manners, ran the schools. So did Quakers. Early abolitionist societies and missionaries acted as analytical societies of propagations of the gospel foreign parts. But the schools established by African Americans instructed African American children arose after the revolution. The new black neutral societies and churches created a sustained them. Schools for black people organized or taught by white people continue to flourish, but in other substantious black people founded their own schools because their white authorities regularly refused either to admit black children in the public schools or to maintain adequate separate black schools. For example, in 1796, when Prince Hall failed to convince the British, convince the Boston City Council to provide a school for black students, he had children taught in his home and that of his own permission in the 1800s. Half, half of Hall's schools, meaning between the base of the new African American Meeting House, which had housed Thomas Paul African American Baptist Church. Hall was not the first to date to take such action, as in 1790, Charleston Brown Fellowship operated, see there they go with that Brown, in Baltimore, supported schools during the same decade. And during the early 1800s, secular schools opened in Washington, D.C., such as schools as frequently employed by white teachers. See, not until Philadelphia's mother, Baptist Church, established an Augustine school in 1818, did a school entirely administered or taught by African Americans for black children existed. Now listen to that now. That was the first time that even black student was even administered into any school, but then they was being taught by middle-aged white women. You see what I'm saying? By middle-aged white women. And that was the first time that they ever did that in 1818. These schools was forced to great difficulties. Many black families could not afford these fees, but rather turned to children away. The schools strained their merge of sources and taking the charity of causes. Some black parents also believed education was pointless when African Americans often could not be get skilled for jobs. White people feared the competition from skilled black workers, believed that black schools attached to established populations and politic, particularly in the South, feared education and free African American would encourage a slave revolt that threatened the violence against black schools. So let's read it. Threats of violence against black schools, efforts to support them were common. Okay, so threats against black schools and efforts to support those threats were common. Were common. You see what I'm saying? Y'all go get what's that movie? Uh, it might be called The Best of Enemies. And this is And I might put the movie up here. I might post the matter of fact, I might post the movie tomorrow. You see what I'm saying? And this is what was going on. And then one scene in the movie, they, somehow mysteriously the school caught on fire. You see what I'm saying? So let me go to the next page. And the petition represented of understood freedmen respectfully that beginning in the African descent and inhabits the native North of Carolina. So the African descendants inhabit native North Carolina. You see what I'm saying? So under God, they applied with hope to effect the redness and graveness, and having been compelled to leave the state. Within that, they had rights to residence, and freedmen liberated under the hand-to-hand humanitarian, and see that word to go again, humanitarian and constant masters would have the validity to enslave them and take away their justice, restoring their rights of freedom, was confirmed by the judge in the Supreme Court of North Carolina. Yet not doing after this decision of the state, the enhance under which the men of crew and deposits, and they had a void of principle. So what it's saying is the people that was giving you an example of people in North Carolina, you know what I'm saying, would have trouble. I mean, this is all over the country, but they never respected the rights of black people in America. We all know that. You see what I'm saying? And we dealing with the school system. I did a video a few months back on the North Carolina school system where they refuse black studies still. And then you go over here, what was that? What was the date for that? Then you go way back. Let me grab that back. Then you go way back to these times, it's still the same thing. You see what I'm saying? It's still the exact same thing. And where they refusing black studies. And see, go look at the video I did on Prince Hall Freemasonry. Because the white people, and I did another video where the white people was talking about, I forgot the name of the video. Y'all got strolled down there. Where they was talking about the white man, the black man could never make no laws that the white man to respect. You see what I'm saying? So even when Prince Hall opened up Prince Hall the African Lodge, even when he opened up the African Lodge, they still, would never accept black people as being Masons, as Freemasons. You see what I'm saying? In the British Lodge or whatnot. Even though he created his own, and they still wouldn't accept no other house but their own. But so by him being at that time one of the main leaders of black people, when we went to go to open the schools, they didn't respect it. So when we were opening the school, they would go burn it down, or out of the blue, it would all kind of crazy stuff would be happening. You see what I'm saying? Like one story I seen, the school automatically, it somehow got flooded or whatnot, and they couldn't get no insurance to claim, so they had to close down the school or whatnot. And we know, just as this book says, they was basically attacking every institution because they feared that, an educated African would overtake them in jobs. So they created white unions to keep black people out of jobs. They're just facts. They're just facts. They're just facts. So I want to talk to y'all about the school system. You see, the first black schools and what kind of trouble they had getting them going in this country. So y'all like, subscribe, and share, family. I'll be right back. We're gonna keep story time going. Love y'all. Drop out.